Oh,
I'm not
this was
sure.
interesting to me. This confirms how this works, first of all, but this I thought was like a retcon. This doesn't make sense with the panel literally above it, in my opinion. So, Lord 8th, incoming transmission from Kawaki. May I connect you? Shikamaru speaks to Ino. Ino, I'm receiving a transmission from another sensory team. Any concern that our conversation will be overheard? He's asking this to Ino, not knowing whether or not their conversation will be overheard. Imagine, hypothetically, their conversations being overheard by the Yamanaka team member that contacted them. So, the Yamanaka team member that contacted him is hearing Shikamaru say, hey, Ino, I'm receiving a transmission from another sensory team. I know you're not connected to me, like we're doing this under the books and illegally and whatever, but like, is there any concern that like we'll be heard right now? Imagine like the Yamanaka's reaction to this. Like, Shikamaru doesn't know. He's admitting he doesn't know.
That's what I was gonna say too. It's like you're like like the fact that he's asking makes it seem like he knows that they're not gonna hear him ask Ino that. But if he knows that, then like what's the
exactly? Like, why are you asking Ino, if Shikamaru, if you have any concern that your conversation will be overheard, then don't ask the question. Like, Ino should know. You don't need to ask her. If you don't know, if you're the one who doesn't know, be cautious or skeptical, and I'm sure Ino will just know and not mess it up. Like, I don't think Ino's gonna be like, oh, hey there, Yamanaka Rick. I didn't know you were calling Shikamaru too. I don't think Ino's gonna say that on the mind transmission call or whatever.
But here's the other thing, though.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter because Shikamaru doesn't have a simultaneous conversation at the same time anyway. He just talks to Kawaki. They're not going to retroactively hear the past conversation now. Like she said, you can hear both conversations. They only had one conversation.
Well, no, but he's still on this call. May I connect you? Give me a moment. Hey, Ino. Like, he's still on call. What do you mean?
I know,
not like I'll call you back.
What I'm saying is Shikamaru shouldn't have needed to worry though, because it's not like he said anything on the call anyway. That was bad.
Well, no, just the fact that he's calling Ino, it's supposed to be recorded. He says that like a few chapters ago when he first gets Ino on call.
I know. We're talking about two different things. We're not disagreeing.
Okay. Never mind. I'll just pretend like I understand now and move on.
What I'm saying is that Shikamaru never needed to worry because they don't talk about anything secretive while they're on the call with Kawaki. He could just pretend they weren't doing that and just do what he did anyway. He was never at risk.
Yeah, so are you saying that Kawaki wouldn't be sus of them? Because I'm saying the Yamanaka team member would be sus of them.
What I'm saying is he didn't need to ask Ino, period, because Shikamaru didn't plan on saying anything sus anyway.
So
he could have just accepted the call and just not said anything bad.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, so we are agreeing. Because in that case, Ino just wouldn't have said anything sus either. Ino just wouldn't have said anything.
Exactly. He would have just talked to Kawaki, kept his secret, and moved on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is dumb. Okay. So
like it's dumb for like 5 different reasons.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one, it's dumb for less reasons, but it's still dumb for at least one reason. Shikamaru should know this. Like, Shikamaru should already have the answer. Like, Shikamaru should know how mind transmission works. I understand the viewer doesn't. The author's making it clear for the viewer. Shikamaru should have this knowledge. He's the Hokage. He's using this system. It's the security system. Like, sure, it's a clan secret or whatever. That sort of goes out the window when this one particular use of this one particular clan jutsu is the public safety everything. It literally goes on public
Not
records
only
that
that,
is in the Hokage's possession or whatever.
I feel like they've had more than one conversation like this before, where they were just doing like I feel like he should just know this from experience by now. Like I don't
Well, but this doesn't make sense with last
like
chapter
aren't there
either.
times when they talk to they have two different conversations anyway?
But then this goes against the point of last chapter. So what's the risk of connecting to Mitsuki during the Boruto fight?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Because Shikamaru would have been the only one hearing both anyways. Every transmission is distinct and independent of the other. Just goes against all of what they were saying last chapter, basically. Oh, it's a risk because he could hear us. No, he can't. It's a distinct call, apparently. The concern is Shikamaru doesn't want to connect both Boruto and Mitsuki on the Shikamaru call because he doesn't want Mitsuki to know that he's talking to Shikamaru via mind transmission. But even that, I don't think that's like a bad thing. Like, hypothetically, Naruto gets on call when he invades the village. I'm not looking at Naruto sus. Naruto's probably being like, hey, why are you in the village? Can we talk this out instead of fighting and destroying it? Like, hey, can we just not do this? Let's settle down, man. Like, that's not sus that he's on call with him.
Oh my god, wait, yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Ino, could you pick up Mitsuki's voice too? I want to hear the full conversation. Don't be ridiculous. That would open up our conversation to them as well. It's way too risky.
So that's a straight up lie.
Is this?
It's just straight up. One of these is straight up a lie. Like, am I not understanding?
Yeah, you'll be the only one who can hear both of them. So why couldn't Shikamaru just hear the? I guess okay. What it might mean is that it's not okay. I think I get what they're saying. It's the fact that it's a different person transmitting to Shikamaru from Ino. So each use like Ino's is separate from Gino, whoever the other person is. Gino. Those will be separate transmissions, so Shikamaru can hear both of those. But if Ino adds people to her jutsu, they're all connected. That makes sense.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
From
in the
another
Mitsuki situation,
sensory
Ino
team
would be adding Mitsuki.
Yeah, the another
not
sensory
someone
team
else.
is the thing that makes this different. Because it's some other Yamanaka connecting the call. So it's two different calls rather than one call. Yeah, makes sense. With multiple people on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was close though.
Okay. I'll give him the pass for that one, but just barely.
Mm-hmm.
But only this bottom one. This top panel is still dumb. Just in less ways, maybe. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sensory team. Alright, connect me. Roger. Kawaki, Shikamaru, this side. What's wrong? This is a weird way to start a call.
A weird translation.
Yeah.
I know it's probably a accurate Japanese, but it's so weird in English.
Like, Kamui, let me just let me just show you what's happening here. So I just do this, right? Oodie, Kamui, this side.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah, exactly. Weird way to start a call.
I mean, this is Shikamaru here. What is it? In Japanese, is that how they call people? Shikamaru, this side.
No. Not from what I've seen, and I've studied this.
Interesting. I wonder how they do phone calls in whatever language the translator comes from.
That's interesting. Yeah, that could be a thing. Also, the
Yeah,
fact that
this side.
Shikamaru just doesn't give a reason to not have been connected immediately. Like, that's a little bit sus. I mean, that could probably get under the rug, but still.
Yeah, just give me a sec.
Yeah. Like, okay, what do you need a sec for, bro? Like, what are you doing? But anyways. But this is
Yeah,
also kind
he's
of
like, oh,
weird.
sorry. It would be really funny if he's like, sorry, like I hate to take a shit. Like he just
No, yeah,
makes
I
up
was
something
thinking that too, yeah.
and like,
Like,
oh okay.
it's a perfect callback to like when Sasuke is explaining to Kid Sakura, or I guess adult Sasuke is explaining to Kid Sakura in the time slip arc at the like final episode. Like he's being pathetic on purpose to try and convince her that he's not Sasuke. And a
Yeah,
perfect
he's
callback of
pretending to be
that.
Jiraiya's fan.
Yeah. Like, sorry, I was reading Makeout Tactics. Connect me. Something like that.
Yeah, and it's like that's just like free humor basically. Like
Yeah.
why not?
What would have been extra funny if he actually was doing that before.
Yeah, and the next chapter it's revealed he was reading Makeup Paradise.
Okay. Last thing I'll point out here. What's wrong is also stupid, considering he knows, like minutes ago, Boruto invaded the village and Kawaki was knocked out trying to go after him, and he's now awake trying to call Shikamaru. What do you mean, what's wrong? Like, you think Kawaki's hunting down a cat or something? No. You should have said status report or something. Like, what's the update? Makes more sense than what's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Like,
any new information. Like
oh, Kawaki, what a surprise. What could it possibly be? Is there something new going on with the room sharing mission?
you're like, man, it's Dame's the country.
The forested area to the south, is it? Is Boruto hanging around in such a place? By the way, this sort of goes along. Wait, no, wait a minute. Based on both explanations, Boruto shouldn't hear this. Right?
Yeah, that's something I was wondering about. Based off what Ino says. Well, even Ino shouldn't be able to hear this either, actually. She has like the dot dot dot, like she shouldn't be able to hear this either.
Like,
Because Ino said you're the only one who can hear both.
so I could understand. Okay. It's like you have two phones, one to your left ear and one to your right ear. So the person on the other end of the phone on the left ear cannot hear the person on the other end of the phone on the right ear. But when you talk, you're talking into both phones. You can hear both other people, but both other people can't hear each other, even if both other people can hear you.
Part of it just depends on whether, I mean, to be fair though, this is also an interesting thing, but with sometimes they talk out loud, but sometimes they talk in their head instead of out loud. And there's like depending on which one they're choosing.
So what you have here, the way this call works, is
All right,
there's two different calls. There's the call between Shikamaru and the Yamanaka slash Kawaki, and Shikamaru and Ino slash Boruto. Shikamaru can hear both and talk to both. This goes both ways. I'll just draw two different arrows, doing that way, and then, yeah, like this and this. Goes both ways, but there is no connection between these members. These members can't hear each other. Three different calls, or two different calls going three different ways, I guess. But this call doesn't exist. This can't be heard. Kawaki can't talk to Boruto.
Okay. So you can tell a couple of things based off the way they draw the dialogue bubbles will give away whose transmission it is in certain panels. So if Shikamaru is the speaker, you can tell whether it's the Ino one or the sensory team one based off of whether it looks like a normal dialogue bubble versus the one with the spikes. The normal dialogue bubble is Shikamaru talking through the sensory team one. Kawaki does the same. If it does the spiky one, that's them talking through Ino's. However, when you're seeing them listening to someone else, like on page 9, when it says incoming message from Kawaki Lord 8th and Shikamaru's hearing that, it always does the same bubble design. The problem, though, is that when Shikamaru is saying to Kawaki, what could he be doing there? Boruto, it's on the panel with Boruto, like he can hear it. That shouldn't be the case, based on what Ino said the previous page.
Crap.
But yeah, Boruto just heard a conversation that Ino said he can't hear.
Yeah.
Ino shouldn't be hearing it either. Like, this is just a contradiction from the previous page. Because she didn't say we'll be the only ones who can hear both. It's you'll be the only one.